Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Affordable apartments and golf memberships at 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling? Trust Lindsay and Associates. Serving the community for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
Want to run faster, jump higher, move with more power? The Sports Recovery and Development Program at Bridges Therapy Group builds speed, strength, agility, and endurance while correcting movement issues that can cause injury. Give your athlete the edge. Schedule an assessment today at srdathlete.com. These are two high-powered offenses, and I'm just curious if there's anyone who could slow them down. We'll see on Friday.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be fireworks left and right.
Big-time matchups under the Friday night lights. We break down some of the games around our area. It is Friday, October 10th, and this is Varsity Vibe Today. Welcome into Varsity Vibe Today on this Friday. Hope you guys have had a great week. Thank you so much for joining us every day. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and we have got high school football to talk about. So let's get to it. Our Lewis Automotive opening drive. The fall kickoff event happening now at the Lewis Automotive Group. Unbeatable prices and special financing. Your next vehicle is ready for you now at one of their 3 locations, Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington. Brey Cook joining me as we look ahead to Friday's matchups. And we've got a lot of good games on the docket, Brey, to talk about. So let's talk about first our Northwest Arkansas game of the week, which is Shiloh and Fort Smith Southside. Both of these teams winning their conference games last week in 6A. And as we look at that 6A West, every win matters. And these two teams are still trying to fight for that top spot.
No, they do. And you're right. I think last week, both these teams having a huge conference win for both of them. High scoring games. Both pretty rowdy highlights from both games. I really do think that this matchup is huge for the trajectory of the conference and both teams. You know, how do you respond to such an intense, high-flying, high-scoring game for both parties last week and come in with a great matchup?
Yeah, it should be fun. Not to, though, overlook the fact that we have Bentonville West and Rogers on tap for Friday night as well. And I think a lot of people going to find themselves at the Mountie Stadium on Friday night. I'm going to be there on my own to see both of these teams in action for the very first time in person. I'm excited about that. But these are two high-powered offenses, and I'm just curious if there's anyone who could slow them down. We'll see on Friday.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be fireworks left and right. Rogers has just been on a tear this year, just offensive, just unstoppable. And then, of course, Bentonville West is just equally as dangerous with some pretty incredible games. You take out that a holding call against Greenwood, and they're probably one of the best teams. They are one of the best teams in the 7A West. But are they the best? And they might be. And you could argue the same thing for Rogers. So we talk about that game before with Shiloh, this being a huge game for that conference. So is this one for the 7A.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be an exciting one. The one that you're going to be at, a little crosstown rivalry in between Springdale and Harbor. And this game, always matters just a little bit more, but you never want to make these games bigger than they are.
It's a rivalry, and it's a big rivalry. The cats and dogs, they've been fighting pretty violently for a long time now. And you look at Harbor, who's they were in a close one with Greenwood. They come back, beat Farmington. Bentonville's just a couple steps ahead of where Harbor's at right now, and they get the win against Heritage. This is a huge game for them to be a conference win. And I'm no disrespect to Heritage, but this is a little bit better of an opponent that's had a little bit more success historically. And then for Springdale to right the ship, what Brett Hobbs has done there he's done incredible things and brought a lot of life into that program. But to beat Harbor tonight is just a game changer for them. So expecting some sparks to fly there in Springdale.
It's a rivalry you played in, and I think that Harbor really, the rivalry itself leans very much in Harbor's direction. But Springdale beat them last year. And I think that when I talked to Brett Hobbs earlier in the week, he was like, it's going to help us set us up for what we have left to come, which is a tough stretch in the 7A West. And so just to get this win alone is going to really help them, I think, just from a confidence standpoint. It's funny, you said cats and dogs, and I had never thought about it that way. Do you think when they opened up Harbor, they did that on purpose?
I would imagine so. Yeah. And it worked. There's definitely a lot of
thought about it that way from a mascot standpoint, but I was like, I mean, it's a crosstown rivalry, and I feel like that was a little bit viciously on purpose.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I cannot believe we're talking about an 0-3 Fayetteville team right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who has lost the last 3 games. They're 0-2 in conference play, have lost the last 3. What does Casey Dick and this team have to do to turn things around against Fort Smith Northside?
Well, typically you'd say not a lot. Fort Smith Northside's struggled a little bit. However, like you said, they're 0-3. You do have to right the ship. You come off some huge emotional games against 2 of the best teams in the conference. Well, what are you going to do when you go against an opponent that on paper you should beat? Do they respond and come out there and just light a fire under them? Or is this a game that even though you have lost those games, it still lull you to sleep? And that is the nightmare scenario for a coach. So if you're Casey Dick, you're really behind those guys saying, hey, we got to get this thing going because the talent's there, the coaching's there, we have all the tools. Now let's just get this thing pointed in the right direction. And like you said, tonight could be the night.
Yeah, Fayetteville's got to do something if they want to continue to try to keep up with the rest of the 7A West. We've got more football to talk about after this, including our Central Arkansas game of the week. We'll be right back.
If you're an athlete that wants to improve your game, maybe improve your 40, jump higher, have better agility, Bridges Therapy Group's Sport Recovery and Development Program can help. They've been helping student athletes reach their highest potential for quite a while now. They've got a team that includes physical therapists, athletic trainers, personal trainers, and occupational therapists. And together, they design individual plans to build speed, explosive power, agility, strength, and endurance. Whether your athlete's returning from rehab or working for a competitive edge, SRD provides the training and guidance to help them succeed. Schedule your athlete's assessment today at srdathlete.com.
Quick Turf is the go-to team for building championship-level sports facilities for public schools, private schools, and the entire school district. They also install beautiful backyard putting greens for homeowners. Known for lifelike, eco-friendly turf, Quick Turf handles everything from design and lighting to drainage and final landscaping. Their all-in-one approach delivers high-performance surfaces for athletes and low-maintenance greens that last for years. With preventative maintenance programs, they keep every field and green looking game day ready. Schedule a free consultation today at quickturf.com. That's QIKturf.com.
The fall kickoff event is on now at Lewis Automotive Group. Unbeatable prices, special financing, and your next ride is ready for you at any of our locations in Fayetteville, Farmington, or Springdale. Don't forget about the Lewis Guarantee, home of double the factory warranty, only at Lewis Automotive Group.
Could a little extra support help your child shine even brighter? Bridges Therapy Group empowers kids to live their best life with expert pediatric therapy services tailored to their needs. Their team offers occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy, guiding families from the first evaluation to every milestone along the way. Give your children the tools to succeed and shine. Give your child the tools to succeed and shine. Visit btgpeds.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today. That's btgpeds.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Enjoy affordable apartments with community amenities like fitness centers and resort-style pools at select locations. Golf memberships are also available at beautiful 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling a home, commercial, or investment property? Trust Lindsay and Associates, serving the community and bringing great neighbors together for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
All right, we got more 7A action to talk about. And Brey, you look at a Heritage Bentonville game, and very similar to Fayetteville, this is a game Bentonville should win on paper, and it favors Bentonville very heavily. But this is also an opponent. You just can't overlook people week to week if you're Bentonville right now.
Nope, no, you can't. There's too much on the line, too much to lose. And I go back to Harbor's game at Heritage last week. First play of the game, Bryce Owens fumbles the ball. And this is a game where Harbor, you got to come out there and you got to start rolling. You cannot start slow, give them momentum, or they'll take it and run. And the style of offense that Heritage is running right now, they run the ball and they hold the ball and they hardly give you any opportunities to score. So if you're Bentonville and you come out there and you give them a chance, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it, and they're going to run with it for 4 quarters. So if you're Bentonville, start strong, make a statement.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Russellville, Mountain Home, and Mountain Home, again, a team that really got things going early on, stumbled a little bit in conference play, but trying to keep up there in the 6A West.
Yeah, and you go back to that 6A with the Shiloh game tonight. This is a huge game for those standings. See where everybody's going to kind of fall in line. I like Mountain Home in this one, but again, this is a big rivalry game that I think is going to have some huge implications.
All right, well, we're going to go down to the 7A Central now for our Everett Chevrolet Central Arkansas game of the week. And I've been very nice. I haven't made you talk about Greenwood or Kane Archer this week. So there you go. You're welcome.
First week, yes.
They're a team that, again, everyone is trying to knock off. But in the 7A, everyone is trying to knock off Bryant. Can anyone beat Bryant? Pulaski Academy has an opportunity to try to do that on Friday night at home. Both of these teams 2-0 in conference play. Can PA pull off something that feels impossible?
No, Bryant's really good.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm not gonna. I was at PA for their game against North Little Rock earlier this year.
Yeah.
Incredible place. Coach Lucas is one of the best people, best coaches that there is. So I hope for all the success in the world for Pulaski. But man, Bryant is a machine. I don't see it happening tonight. Not to say I'm not pulling for it. Also, big fan of Coach Sanders there, Bryant, what they do. But I see Bryant run away with this one just because they are. I mean, they're tough.
They are tough. I talked to Coach Lucas earlier in the week. He's like, we were going to have to play near perfect. But there are some things on tape that he feels like maybe he can use to their advantage. And you were there right before their North Little Rock game. And he also made a mention that game was right after they had lost to Highland Park. And he said they had their seniors call a team-only meeting. He had no idea about it. And he said, but whatever they said in that meeting, I have no idea. It changed something. It changed the program. It changed this team. And you saw the result against North Little Rock. And we've seen these last couple of games what that change has done. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think that this PA team is definitely a different team than they were those first 3 games of the season.
I love it. Hey, I'm full support. Go sick 'em. Let's go get a W.
So some great football around the state, around the area tonight for you to go check out. But of course, if you can't be everywhere, because no one can, make sure to follow us on our social media, Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook. We've got everything. We've got all of these creatives all around the state giving some great content on Friday night. So make sure to tune in for us, tune in there for everything that we're offering. Brey, thanks so much. We'll have more football talk next week.
Thank you.
This week's Performance Athlete of the Week is Jada Crawford from Harbor. Crawford started at SRD following an ACL tear and recovery. And despite her injury, she has made strides to full recovery with little re-injury risk. Crawford improved her limb symmetry, shaved off 0.14 seconds off her 20-yard dash, dropped 0.28 seconds off her pro agility, added 8 jumps, adding 8 inches to her broad jump, and so much more. Her progress is proof that prioritizing safe recovery leads to real performance milestones. To learn more about the program, visit srdathlete.com. That is going to do it for Varsity Vibe today on this Friday. Hope you get out and enjoy some high school football in this beautiful weather. Thank you again for joining us. And if you don't, follow us on our social media, X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it, and sign up for the newsletter at varsityvibearkansas.com. A special shout out to our sponsors, Lewis Automotive, Lindsay, Bridges Therapy, Everett Chevrolet, and Quick Turf. Have a great weekend.